everybody. Today we are going to christen my new anvil by making the first thing I ever learned to make, a J-hook. Well, to be exact, a drive hook, because it's got the spike. You can drive it into a post, but pretty much it's just going to be a J shape. We're going to curve this. You can do a fishtail and then leave the top flattened slightly, so instead of a drive hook, you'd end up with just a hook you screw into the wall. But let's get started. I just have this scrap piece of metal that I had laying around, and that's what we're going to use, but you can use any size, just as long as you can get a hold of it and work it. Alright, step one, safety glasses. And step two is, once we get it up to a nice orange heat, is we're going to taper it. So what you do, whack, turn, back. If I'm being honest, if we're being honest, probably would have been done by now if I hadn't been lazy and just used a scrap piece this big. The very end of this is irregular because of the way I cut it, so I'm just going to cut that off and then keep drawing. There we go. In all reality, this is way too big to be an actual drive hook. I mean, I'm sure there's somewhere you could put it, but it's not going to be a normal plank or something. You'd run the risk of splitting it. So this is pretty much just going to be an instruction piece, but that'll be the drive end. So that'd be what you would drive into the wall. next, I think we are going to go for a fishtail end for the curve. Alright, so for the fishtail, instead of working it evenly, we're just going to flatten one side. So what we're going to do next is, where we have it flat for the fishtail. Okay, so for the fishtail end, what we're going to do is, instead of working it evenly to get this taper here, we're just going to work one side, or well, two sides. And as you see, we flattened it already. And what we want is to drive these sides out, so we end up with like a fishtail. So we're going to drive it out to where it gets wider and looks like the tail of a fish swimming around. Yeah. Okay. Now what you do if you have a cross peen is you can just take it and you hit it in the middle like that. And while it does leave marks like that, you can fix that later, but what it does is it spreads it, because you're impacting the center and it wants to spread away from where the hammer's striking. And to clean that up, all you would do is, when you come back to work it again, you flip it over so that the marked side is on the anvil, and you work this side with the face of your hammer. And what that'll do is the anvil, because it's smooth, will smooth that out and you won't even know it's there. So there's the marked side on the bottom. Starting to get a little crooked. Let's see, it's taking it out of the other side and it's put it into this side, because that's where I was working. So then whenever you get your fishtail to the point you'd like it to be, it'll be time to bend it over. Well, let me... Okay. Alright, so then what we're going to want to do is we're going to come to the edge of the anvil, just barely stick the tip of that fishtail off, and we're going to bend it over. So it almost looks like a back scratcher, and I guess you could use this technique to make a back scratcher if you wanted to. flip it over. Get a good grip on it with the tongs. And we're going to work it back towards us. Let's work that to us a little bit more. Just a little bit though. Okay. So remember that we're going to make this into a hook, so we're going to be curving it. So you want that curve to be facing so it doesn't snag anything you want to hang on it. I don't know if you can see the forge back there. You can. If you notice any yellow gas coming out of the forge, that's actually sulfur. And it's one of the byproducts of coal when it burns. And we don't want to mess up what we did with the fishtail. So if you have a water bucket, dip the tip in there. Take that to the horn until you're satisfied with it. We'll brush some of that scale off. And there you've got the J in J-hook. The fishtail end instead of a little curly Q. So next we'll make the drive part of the drive hook. Well, actually, it's easier if you're going to twist it, and I think we are, is if before you completely do everything, so bend this, bend that, if you're using round stock, you have to flatten the section you're going to twist, because you can't twist round stock. You won't be able to see anything different. So, perfect. So we pick the section we want to flatten. Now they make specialty tools for flattening round stock or whatever you need to flatten, and they're called flatters, and it's basically just a hammer. Well, it looks like a hammer, but it's got a really wide flat face with a striking end, and what somebody will do is they'll hold it for you and then you whack it and it'll evenly flatten whatever you're trying to flatten. And you can do this by hand, you just got to be careful. And make sure that you're not doing it uneven or anything like that. So what you do is you just keep on bringing it back, just like that. There we go. Go. Next, I'll show you how we make the part you hammer into the wall. Right there. Now, for making the part of the hook that you hammer in and the twist, you're going to need some type of vise. It can be a bench vise, a post leg vise like this. Anything will work. And something to bend it with. I have this homemade turning wrench, but you can use pliers, anything really you need to. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick it in the vise. This part, and we're going to bend it over. Well, that did not go as planned. I need more heat, but that's okay. If you did the same thing, all you gotta do is get a hose. Now just take your hammer. Take that horizontal, more or less horizontal. So I just went to the anvil and cleaned it up a little bit, so we ended up with more of a J shape instead of C shape we seemed to have a second ago. Looks pretty good so far. You need to pick the section that you want to twist, and just at the bottom of it, you put that in the vise, and then the top of the section you want to twist is where you put whatever you're twisting with. So everything in between will twist, but everything below or above won't. Now, don't forget, however many times you twist it, you want your curve to be facing away from your nail. So if you, like this one, let's say I gave it half a turn, this would be facing the same as that, and that wouldn't work because we'd get in the way of the nail. So I would have to turn it at least one full time around to get it back facing the opposite direction. finishing drive hook. I think it'll look all right once we get it shined up. It's not perfect, but it's also way too big stock for a drive hook. I was just lazy and used it because there was a piece of scrap laying around. But it did show what we needed to do, even though it would have gone a lot quicker if I had just used the right size. But it was fun. So, hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.